Prime Minister Narendra Modi has landed in Bikaner. He's starting his visit from the Karni Mata temple in Deshnok. This is in Bikaner district. Look at that visual, very interesting. He's of course accompanied by the Chief Minister of the state as well. Karni Mata, remember, especially for the people of Rajasthan, is a huge belief when it comes to strength of the goddess protecting them for the longest time. It's a prominent Hindu temple dedicated to Karni Mata and is about 30 kilometers south of Bikaner, but it's in the border areas, and it's going to, remember, in many ways reflect the kind of protection and strength that Indians believe comes in as much from our gods and goddesses and the kind of legends around them, especially when it comes to strength and sacrifice. So therefore, at this juncture, starting the visit from the Karni Mata temple, and a belief that, remember, that this goddess had brought prosperity and protected the people of the region, especially somewhere around 13th, 14th century. But this is where a lot of people of Rajasthan have a very strong faith when it comes to the Karni Mata temple. Many would also know this is where thousands of rats are allowed. It's free for rats at the Karni Mata temple, if I'm correct. That's also an interesting trivia about it, but of huge importance, especially for the mystique around it, for the devotees who've been, remember, generational loyalists when it comes to Karni Mata. After this, of course, the focus, the big highlight is from the Karni Mata temple, he heads to the air base. Again, a reflection that our bases are running fine. Pakistan attempted best to target our people and our assets of border areas, but all of that was protected and housed. So remember, symbolic message as well, to bow down as much to the gods and goddesses keeping the region protected, and of course to ensure and acknowledge the support of the armed forces. So that's the visual on your screen. Devankur Vadhavan joins me from Rajasthan. Dev, tell me more about this visit to Karni Mata temple and why possibly you feel that Prime Minister Modi started his itinerary from here. Shivani Sharma also joins me. Shivani, I bring you in first. So starting from the temple and then to the air bases as well. After, and I would say from Adampur Air Base, when there's been these series of meetings and visits, why Bikaner?
Pooja, see, last week we saw Prime Minister Narendra Modi visiting Adampur Air Base and interacting with the heroes of Operation Sindoor. And today he is in Rajasthan. And when it comes to Rajasthan, the Nal Air Base happens to be one of the most strategic locations, especially when it comes to we saw how it was targeted by Pakistan. So now, when Prime Minister is there, he's visiting Karni Mata temple. It is again very important and um, historically it has a trivia around it, as we were also mentioning. But in the whole state of Rajasthan, when he's visiting all these places, and he'll also be visiting Nal Air Base, it is important to highlight that how he continues to boost the morale of our forces. He stands by the faith and belief out there. He is inaugurating thousands of crores of infrastructure development projects out there in Rajasthan. And when it comes to Nal Air Base, Pooja, he landed there. He will be going there. He'll be visiting and meeting again the personnel, the airmen out there who were a part of Operation Sindoor, which is one of the air bases that is used for surveillance, reconnaissances, and important assets of the Air Force, including the Su-30s, are placed out there. So Nal is important in terms of not only the strategic location and its operations when it comes to the western border. It has been operating into a multiple exercises, and after Operation Sindoor, the importance is all the more understandable because it was targeted by Pakistan. The attempts were spotted by Indian Air Base out there. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi will once again give a message from there, not only refuting all the fake and false narrative of Pakistan that our assets were destroyed. We expect that certain important assets will again be seen when Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be there. But we can see these visuals from Bikaner where he is praying at the Karni Mata temple, which again is of a very
Also be clear,
important.
the reason after Adampur base here is because it is again a fact check, exactly how Adampur Air Base was, to show that Pakistan is trying to claim that they have tried to target our strategic assets, and this is where a lot of squadrons are located, like you're telling us, including the Su-30, and then all of that is just fine, and that's another messaging. So this is multiple layers right now, and starting, of course, with a prayer to the goddesses that they protected us as much.
Certainly, Pooja, this is a very strong message that is going across, that the belief in the gods. And when we visit Rajasthan, when we visit the forward locations out there along the western border, there are a number of temples which have their stories of valor of these gods and goddesses. And our security personnel also, they have firm belief of these goddesses and gods protecting our forces on the western border, Pooja. There are hundreds of such tales. And this Karni Mata temple, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi is starting his visit to Rajasthan on the western border with this prayer at Karni Mata temple, this is yet again a message that gods are protecting our forces too. So it is an important message. And as you were also saying, when he'll be visiting the Nal Air Base, he will again be fact-checking the Pakistan's fake agenda, fake narrative, the false news that India has inflicted with damages, showing some important assets out there, meeting the personnel out there, showing how our strategic bases are absolutely fine. They are operational. They have been the heroes of our Operation Sindoor, which is still on. Even though they were targeted, they thwarted the attempts of Pakistan. All our assets, as we saw in Adampur, Pooja, the S-400s we saw there, we saw the intact runways, we saw the POW fighters out there, the spirited airmen, the personnel of the forces out there. So we will, again, we are expecting to see some of these important strategic assets in Rajasthan, in Bikaner, in Nal Air Bases, and also a way for progress with a number of key development projects that are to be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
With me. So this is about a 15-minute visit to the Karni Mata Mandir. And after that, following this visit, he'll inaugurate the Deshnok railway station and then flag off the Bikaner-Mumbai express train as well. So, of course, with one itinerary, one visit, multiple layers, the focus remains the visit to the base. Tell me about the strategy, Shivani, that Prime Minister Modi started with a visit to the Adampur Air Base. It was followed by Defence Minister's visit to Bhuj and then, of course, to the Kashmir Valley and now Rajasthan. Border states specifically, are we looking at more visits like this, or do you think possibly Rajasthan could be the last one now?
No, Pooja, we will definitely see more visits like this. And every week we are seeing these visits, not only by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with his addresses that not only warn Pakistan and reiterate the doctrine which has been now laid out that any act of terror will be an act of war. We will not be talking to Pakistan except about the terrorism and the POK. And very important out here is the warning that comes and the alertness and the faith in our forces who have been they have been standing strong even in the wake of those dastardly attacks, first on the tourists and then on the cities, the villages out there, the citizens who were targeted by Pakistan along with the military infrastructure. So that message we again expect from Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and it will be an ongoing process because we have been given that this Operation Sindoor is not an operation that is over. This is still an ongoing operation, and our strategy has changed now.